Every day, millions wake up to the same harsh truth. They feel trapped. Trapped by invisible walls, pinned down by the promises that never deliver. It's not just about money, it's about freedom. They watch others, the top hedge funds, the so-called smart money, pull off deals that seem like magic, like insider secrets locked behind gates they'll never open. And the worst part? They wonder if they're missing something crucial, a secret so powerful it could change everything, the way they think, invest, and win. That burning frustration, the sleepless nights spent staring at charts and market news, it's not just stress. It's a quiet scream from the soul, a demand for something better, something real. Listen, this isn't about some textbook strategy or recycled advice from 1,000 YouTube videos. It's about what those hedge funds really don't want you to know, not because it's illegal or shady, but because it threatens their entire game. Because it puts power back where it belongs, in the hands of the individual, not the elite clubs whose word is law and whose little circle controls trillions. This secret doesn't cost you millions or require insider contacts. It's far more powerful. It's the truth about how markets are manipulated, how the so-called rules are made to contain everyone except a few, and how those few sacrifice the masses' freedom to keep wealth flowing upward. You see, hedge funds build walls, not just around their money, but around information. Their massive machines can scale risk, automate trades, and create illusions of transparency while hiding real moves behind complex algorithms and dark pools. The average investor, they're left outside watching, trying to decode, trying to guess. But here's the heartbreaking reality. Most never will. The structures, the systems, and the rules aren't meant to help them. They're designed to keep them chasing shadows, the next bubble, the next fad, the next false hope. But here's where everything flips. The real secret isn't in what they know, it's in what they fear. Hedge funds fear individuals who refuse to stay inside those invisible prisons. They fear investors who learn to think beyond their spreadsheets, who see through the spectacle of market noise and tap into not just trends, but the raw, unfiltered power of autonomy. Because that's when the game changes, when individual investors stop playing by imposed rules and start crafting their own path, aligned with clear values, deep understanding, and strategic patience, controlled by no one but themselves. Imagine, right now, sitting beneath the noise, beneath the chaos, the endless cycle of fear and greed, and tuning into a new frequency, one that focuses on what actually matters. Not just buying the dip or chasing high-flying stocks, but embracing a mindset that recognizes markets as living systems, filled with patterns, emotions, and hidden signals only visible to those who have the patience and clarity to see beyond the chaos. This is not just investing, it's liberation. This secret weapon, it's the shift from consumption to creation, from reacting to controlling. It's knowing that ultimate power lies not in mimicking the crowd or waiting for the call, but in understanding the forces shaping the market and the human behaviors underneath. It's about mastering your inner game, the fears, impulses, doubts that hedge funds rely on others to possess, and transforming them into your strongest assets. Listen closely. Hedge funds want you to remain isolated, desperate, and reactive. They thrive on the solitude and confusion of the individual investor, drowning in data and dropping prey to distractions. But you don't have to be that person. You don't have to settle for borrowed strategies or diluted wisdom. Instead, you can build your own autonomous network, meaning real connections with others who share your fire and your vision. When misaligned brilliance connects in fierce synergy, no hedge fund, no algorithm, no system can stop it. But this isn't about blindly rallying a mob or fitting into a neat little group. It's about crafting your sovereignty, your will sharpened into a weapon against confusion, your decisions backed by deep critical thinking, by questioning everything, even what you've been told is gospel truth. This is why patience is the quiet core of power. The long game wins when quick fixes and scams only burn bright for a moment. The world is shifting beneath our feet, and those who understand this secret, not as a simple hack, but as a new way of seeing the entire market ecosystem, are already moving. Imagine the freedom when your investments are no longer subject to the swings dictated by hedge fund narratives. Imagine calling your own shots, building multi-layered strategies that don't just survive market chaos, but thrive because they are designed around your unique goals, your risk appetite, your timeline, not the bankers, not the fund managers, not the algorithms programmed to maximize someone else's gains, but you. This secret dismantles the illusion that you're too small, too late, or too uninformed to beat the system. Because here's the cold truth. The biggest gains come to those who refuse to be sheep, led by wolves disguised in suits, those who dare to unlearn the comfort of outdated paradigms, those who reject being processed through a broken system that values conformity over creativity, mediocrity over excellence, and noise over essence. Do not believe the lie that freedom in investing is about finding a magic stock or following an influencer blindly. Real freedom in investing is about mastering yourself. The way you see risk, the way you filter information, the way you make decisions when everyone else is either panicking or paralyzed. It's about using patience and selective alignment to build a strategy that's not only resilient to collapse, but poised for radical, sustained growth. Here's a provoking idea. What if real wealth isn't about having the most, but about having the courage to create space for your uncommon vision? What if the future belongs not to those who bark the loudest or chase every trend, but to those who build networks of trust, complementarity, and shared brilliance? Hedge funds don't want this secret exposed because they know that once the rare find each other, once the misfits and visionaries connect, markets shift, power shifts, and the so-called norm no longer holds. To break free, first dismantle your emotional chains. Stop being a prisoner of the noise and the hype. Stop fearing losses so much that you never chase wins. Learn to see that in the luxury of comfort, your fire dims. Embrace discomfort instead. It's hard, yes, but it's where the revolution begins. Start seeing risk not as a monster, but as a guide. Use it to refine your edge, like a sharp blade. Control it, don't flee from it. Next, cultivate ruthless clarity. Filter the flood of information and reject most of it. The hedge funds use complexity to hide simplicity. They want you drowning in data so you can't see the patterns underneath. But the patterns exist. Markets follow cycles, behaviors, emotions. The best investors don't hoard information. They master it, distilling chaos into clear, strategic action that fits personal values and isn't enslaved by trends. Then build your own autonomous network. Not endless noise, but meaningful, complementary connections. Find the few who share your drive for exceptionalism. Collaborate brutally. Synergize ferociously. Share insights, challenge assumptions, push each other beyond dividends and charts into real transformation. Hedge funds hate that because it's uncontainable, unpredictable, unstoppable. Finally, practice patience like a weapon. Understand that investing is a long game, a marathon, not a sprint. The system rewards rash decisions. The real winners savor the power of waiting, of accumulating edge quietly, while others chase temporary thrills. Patience brings double clarity. Clarity to see through illusions, and clarity to act decisively when the moment is right. This is the secret hedge funds don't want you to know. It is not hidden in complex derivatives or big data analytics. It is hidden in radical independence, fierce critical thought, deliberate connection, and untouchable patience. It is about breaking the code that keeps the many chasing shadows while the few own the light. So ask yourself, are you ready to step off the hamster wheel? Are you ready to stop believing the system's lies and start building your own reality? your wealth, your freedom, your legacy? Because once you do, once you embrace this power, no wall, no gate, no hedge fund will ever keep you out again. You become the secret no one can afford to ignore. You become unstoppable.